Hello and welcome to NAFDAC and Your Health. I am your host. My name is Tosing Adebayo. Here, we bring you up to date with NAFDAC's activities with regards to its mandate of safeguarding the health of the nation. On today's program, we continue our sensitization on the use of cosmetics by Nigerians. Cosmetics is one of the 6 products regulated by NAFDAC, and as part of the agency's efforts at safeguarding the health of the nation, it is imperative to sensitize Nigerians on the adverse effect of hazardous cosmetics, which mostly contain harmful chemicals or components.
There are many ways in which cosmetics can become a challenge. We have very porous borders where people bring things in that we don't approve. That is one. We also have simple cosmetics. We call them simple cosmetics that we allow MSMEs to make. And we have to control that because those are the ones that we register or that come through our system. And cosmetics can also come through global listing. Global listing is a service for supermarketers. And if they import 5,000 products, we do not inspect them like we do 1 product, 2 products per company. That is a challenge that we are revisiting as we speak. To what extent do we leave them without inspection? Are we going to be doing random inspection so that we can see those that are bringing things in that are of good quality and those that may not be? And then there are some cosmetics people that actually make cosmetics in their studio. These people are not well trained to make cosmetics. We need more sensitization. We need to bring them, because sometimes they don't even know adding this to that can lead to something down the road. It can lead to cancer. Those who use bleaching creams or whatever, your skin may be lighter now, but what is going to happen in 10 years if you keep using the same thing? It's a custom that person is used to. That person may have cancer. So we have to make sure that our own awareness, our stakeholders' awareness, sensitization, very, very important. And enforcement. We go to do raids at the trade fairs, and it's a continuous battle. We carry tons and tons and tons of seized goods. They go back to do things to bring cosmetics in. Our own judicial system is another issue. We don't give the type of sanction or sentence that the violation demands. So it's a multifactorial issues, but we are dealing with them as they come.
The abuse of cosmetics made of harmful chemicals to tone or bleach the skin endanger the health, and the long-term effect is damaging physically and emotionally.
Them as
Not bleach the skin, damaging physically and emotionally. Damaging physically. Damaging physically. Damaging physically. Damaging physically. Damaging physically. damaging physically, damaging physically, damaging physically, damaging physically, damaging physically, NAFDAC, from time to time, raid the markets to enforce compliance with regulatory standard, as well as sensitizes Nigerians whenever a product contains harmful chemicals, whether in large or small quantity.
We are still moving on with the issue of, clamping down on people who are doing some of these dangerous or involved in some of these dangerous activities. The clampdown is still on. We will not rest until we eliminate them. We will not rest because these people, they pose a grave danger to society. What is going on is horrible. People are bringing in chemicals. They tell you you can change your skin to white. That is wrong. And we are also against people who use the social media to sell some of these dangerous items they call cosmetics. We find a whole lot of them. People are selling it online for what is not registered by the agency. We frown at it. And we are going to prosecute and we are going to deal with people who are involved in this. If you are black, you should be happy. The color that God has given you. If you are light, that is good. You don't have to destroy your body.
As a user of any cosmetic product, a number of factors must be considered critically before making purchase. As a user of any critically before making purchase. As a user of any 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 as a user of any making purchase. As a user of any making purchase. A food for thought to those who think bleaching the skin is just another way of enhancing it. A food for thought. 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 We'll take a short break now. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, you're watching NAFDAC and your health. As part of NAFDAC's regular activities towards building the capacity of its workforce, a 3-day executive training was organized for deputy directors of the agency. The focus of the training was on anti-corruption, leadership in the 21st century, and ethical values in the workplace. To set the ball rolling for the training is the Director General's opening remark, which was delivered by the Deputy Director, Planning, Research and Statistics. The interactive session between the trainer and the trainees dwelled on one of the topics, which is on transformational leadership.
I'm not wasting time to tell you the types of leadership or something like that. I'm more interested in transformational leadership. That's what we'll be talking a lot. But there used to be what is called transactional leadership model. And then you have transformational. But transactional started before the advent of the 21st century. But eventually, through conventional means, the transformation takes over. Transactional is more to do with status quo, give rewards to employees before they do their job. So that is changing. Now, transactional believes strongly in status quo. In the 21st century, status quo, to look at them and say, hey, for over 20 years, this is how we're doing things. You can't come and change us here. That's what people want. And that's why when you bring new things, they resist. That's change management. You'll be hearing about causes of that. How do we change management? Change management is part of transformational leadership. Transformation means turn things around.
There were other lectures, syndicate group discussion and presentations, and visual presentations. The training facilitator, who is a retired public servant, highlights the importance of the exercise.
We're trying to make the participants want to understand what leadership is all about in the new normal, as well as understand the corruption studies as well as ethical values. Now, the concept of leadership in the 21st century makes every person in a certain or functional organization as a leader. Every person within the organization who can do or undo in doing their own job, they are leaders in their own right. And the best way is to understand that concept. Now, my ability to be training on this leadership aspect is nothing more than people to understand that in the new normal or in the 21st century, there is a paradigm shift in leadership. It's no longer the same when before the advent of the 21st century, when IQ is being seen as the main measuring devices to determine who are leaders. There are so many things. One of them is the concept of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence simply means, leaders who can be able to manage their own emotions as well as the emotions of others. Now, if you cannot manage emotions of your own inner self, how else can you be able to manage the emotion of others? That makes you strong. And we try to make them, understand to be a good team player. Everything we do for organizational development is towards achieving the objective or the mission statement.
The Deputy Director, Planning, Research and Statistics, whose directorate is responsible for the training, also gives insight on what the training is set to achieve.
NAFDAC, as you are aware, is a regulatory agency, and NAFDAC need to be ahead of the people they are regulating. So training and retraining of staff is key to actualizing the mandate of the agency. Coming to the training, this anti-corruption and leadership training in the 21st century that is being organized by the agency for the Deputy Director's cadre. You can see the theme is about leadership. Deputy directors are leaders that will take over from directors. And as you are aware, corruption is a hydra-headed monster that can cripple the society. It will cripple both the social and economic facets of the society. Any agency that wants to make progress and does not tackle corruption, then that agency will not see the light of the day. And knowing that NAFDAC is entrusted with the life of Nigerians, if corruption is not tackled in the agency, then Nigeria is at risk. People can bring in substandard products or whatever, all the products that we regulate could come in substandard, and people, if corruption is not handled, then if we allow it in, there will be a problem. There will be a big problem to the nation. As deputy directors, there is a policy in the agency, irrespective of the cadre. The moment you go get training, you are coming back to cascade it. You are coming back to do what we call step down. And that step down training is passing it to all the other members that did not benefit from that program, so that all of you will be at the same page. But this particular one, the Director General NAFDAC, as you are aware, since her inception, she has made training a priority, training and retraining of staff. So this particular one is going to go down to all the agencies, because nobody is exempted. Nobody is exempted from these corrupt practices.
A communique to highlight the deliverables of the training was issued by a committee of the participants. Here is where we draw the curtains on this edition of the program. Join us same time, same station next week for another informative package. In the meantime, if you have comments, complaints, or you want to report activities of fake drugs or adulterated food product peddlers, our doors are always open. You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email, reforms@nafdac.gov.ng, or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer-focused, agency-minded. Importing, producing, distributing, and selling fake drugs and cosmetics, adulterated food, and so on are criminal activities that destroy lives. Join the fight against these heinous crimes by reporting any suspicious activity in your area to NAFDAC. Let's join hands to safeguard the health of our nation. Till next week, stay safe.